Women's sporting history is not simply a set of artifacts to be viewed through glass, or a collection of manuscripts tucked away in acid-free folders. Our history is alive, exciting, and relevant, and for the sake of us all, we must use its vibrance. Our history must be used to encourage the dreams of young girls, the intellectual ones and the physical ones. They need to know that our history is their history, that the foundation on which they stand is made up of some names that we all know, but millions more that we don't. Those pioneers lift us up. They light our way to the pool, to the court, to the field, and because of their strength, we all have the gift of hope.
I am thrilled that we are holding this day of significant and invigorating programming right here in the Hammer Theater in the heart of San Jose during Women's History Month and 46 years following the 1972 passage of the Title IX legislation requiring equity for women and girls in education, including athletics.
We know from research that in every measurable criteria that sports makes better kids. Now we just assume it's true for boys, but we know for a fact that it's true for girls.
I think San Jose State has really stepped up to the plate and done a great job as far as putting themselves out there as far as the legacy in sports and gender equity. And I'm hoping that other universities and colleges will follow suit.
Being a former women's basketball player and a student here at San Jose, I think it's good for me to know the past experience that women athletes had in the past. And, I think it's just a great learning experience.
I think it's really important that young women athletes know about Title IX and understand about Title IX and not forget about Title IX. But I think it's really important that we don't forget about it because it still needs to be protected.
Well, Title IX, I just want to say, is not a women's sports law. Mm-hmm. And it was basically placed back in 1972 as an education law for women educators to get paid equal pay. Mm-hmm. Which that's not happening today. And so it's become kind of the mantra for women in sports. It's given young girls and women the opportunity to do something that they love.
I think that athletes in social justice and in equity can come together and move mountains.
Women are acutely aware individually of what is happening to them. This is the basis of the Me Too movement. That movement creates a collective identity and voice, a public forum for women to speak collectively about what society will not shine a light on, much less admit to and address.
Number one, if women could stop sexual violence, we would have already done it. Stand up. Don't be silent. See something, say something. Be active.
Until there is change at the top, the change can only be incremental. So I think the larger conversation is it's not going to happen overnight. It is a process.
We have to break down those barriers and start to, as a society, understand that like a girl can be really, really great. And I always love when they say, like, oh, you run like a girl. Well, if you ran a little faster, you could too. And
when I speak with little girls and I talk, I tell them all of the time, there is nothing weak about being strong. Strength of body, strength of mind, strength of spirit, like all of those things need to be cultivated in women and girls.
So I think if we keep talking about it, and I feel like there's enough powerful women here today to keep this thing moving. There's a lot of trailblazers here, so we have really no excuse now. They keep moving forward.
Well, today's events, I think, are something that are very historic for our campus, given the context of what's going on nationally. So I think the Institute is a place where we can really do some really good critical thinking on sports and be a leader in thinking about how sports has impacted civil rights.
I'm very conscious every day of carrying on that legacy of Dr. Edwards and John Carlos and Tommy Smith, Yoshishita, and the rest of the people on this campus who have really set the tone for understanding that the relationship between sport and politics, the relationship between sport and social justice is very intimate. It's not something that is ever going to go away.
There's never been a better time in the history of our nation to be a female athlete, and we still have quite a bit of work to do. So I'm hopeful that the women student athletes will walk away from today with more of a sense of what came before them.
I love San Jose State. I also feel like never before that San Jose State is really coming into alignment with its own history, its own incredible strength, and is going to use that as a force of good into the future for many more years to come.